Hey, everybody. I remembered to unmute this time. Welcome to the show. It's Monday night. Thanks for hanging out with us. I had to get through all of the thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. I realized if I didn't start rolling through them during the credits that
you'd never get through them.
I never get through them, but I appreciate it so much. It means a lot. So thank you all.
We're just excited to celebrate it with you because, again, what else are we doing on a Monday night than being here on the Illumiteers?
I don't know. Certainly, it's all I remember doing every Monday night.
Birthdays, holidays,
yep,
major events.
Yep, all the things. Look at that. Even look at all the. Oh my goodness, there's more. Thanks everybody. Matt, hey, Chris, all these folks. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I am bad at like public
accepting celebration of your life.
It feels, I don't know, weird.
Well, just real quick before we start, I just want to say personally, it has been such a joy and honor to get to work with you and meet you because of this game. I remember the very first time we met, I think it was in an Atlanta airport, if I'm not mistaken. I think R&B and I were trying to catch the same flight, and he's like, by the way, you have to meet the Illumiteers. That was the first time we'd officially met. And I don't know, it feels like ever since that very quick meeting where R&B just insisted we had to meet, things have just, I mean, both of us individually have just kind of risen around the same time with the growth of the game. So I don't know, man. I'm happy that you're a part of this game. I'm happy you continue to do it, and you're wonderful.
Thank you. I don't know what to say in response. Honestly, like
on my birthday, you can think of something cool. But
okay. But no, I really do appreciate the sentiments. It does mean a lot, and I will say, not to get too mushy here before we get into some good Lorcana talk. Like every time people say even happy birthday or like thanks for making content or even that they watched your content, like I always say it means a ton. I think there's for us who make content, there's very little like reward when you put out content or videos. You get numbers back, and so you watch the numbers tick up, but it's so impersonal. But every time somebody leaves a positive comment or like actually thanks you, it really, really, really does mean a lot. So the fact that there's so many people here who know it's my birthday and even managed, like said something and those comments, like it really does mean a lot. And I appreciate you all. So thank you. Yeah.
You're gonna make them cry before the show even starts.
I know. And shout out or send you dice. Yes, I'm waiting for those cursed dice. Yeah, thank you all. Also, again, shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Elizabeth, by the way. Congrats on the newborn. Thanks for crawling out of the newborn trenches, as you say, to be here tonight. I hope it's going well. I remember those days, and good on you. I hope it's going very well. Yeah. And yeah. So, speaking of gifts, I have one other, not to change the subject too much, but one other piece of business I need to attend to from a while back.
You got a Gantu.
Okay. This I think is the only plush Gantu that exists in like this line of Gantus is the only one that exists in the world.
I don't think I've ever even seen like a Gantu toy.
Yeah, no, I don't think they exist. This is from Japan. It's a Sega line. I don't know if Sega like pivoted from game systems into plushies or if it's from vending machines.
Sega that's like Sonic, right?
Yeah. Maybe they just pivoted hard into vending machines. This is a vending machine thing. I don't know. But this is to close off the Gantu challenge. We did have, somebody who took it on, and I promised a reward. So very expensive shipping from Japan, but we got it done. And this is going to go out to the winner of that challenge. So if anybody has any ideas for the next set, champs, let me know.
That's amazing. No, like, I mean, you were the one that just kind of pioneered the whole Gantu challenge because of your undying love for the worst legendary ever created. So I don't know. Is there another? Is there another legendary that sees no play this set that you're just like, if only it had a home?
Or ever. I wonder if like I mean, if 4 of the Aurora Dreaming Guardian seems because it's playable.
I mean, but like topping with one though.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Is the card playable? Absolutely. I've seen it played a lot. Never seen it make top cut though.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the Dreaming Guardian because that is a
Such a
fun.
tie. I think that'd be a good one actually.
Okay. We'll I'll mull that over and maybe issue
Because
the
we
challenge
are
next week.
we're coming up fast and in a hurry on set champ season, so like we got to start rolling out whatever the next gimmick thing people are gonna do, especially for Maleficent Dragons, throwing people out there in the trenches with some gimmick stuff for Maleficent Dragons.
That's true. Like that is true. It does, because not that you're throwing it, but it does feel like you're taking some extra risk considering that's a.
Yeah, I for sure don't think you're throwing by throwing Aurora Dreaming Guardian in a deck. I think it has a lot of very niche uses that can, I mean, like just turn the corner on some decks, but it's inkable, so it's easier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm just like brainstorming like where it might fit best.
Yeah. Courtney's saying she was cooking a princess deck that might fit it in.
Dude, I'm telling you, princesses are so close to being. I played against one like early on in the set, and on the play, it was almost impossible to stop. It was absolutely insane. The one drop Aurora is a menace to society.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. One of the one drop Aurora is the. I have a video coming out where we worked on. I did like some stats from Denver. Fun things like the most played card in the room, or the most played reprint, fabled reprint, the most played fabled original, and Aurora was number 4 of the most played new fabled card. I think.
New Fable Dumbo had to be number one, right?
Yes.
I'm just going through like possible new cards in my head, and I'm just like, it's got to be Dumbo number one.
Yeah.
Lilo, maybe?
Lilo
No,
was
Nala.
Nala. I think Nala was number. I have to remember. Nala was either number 2 or 3. Lilo was number 5. And because there's just not a lot of new cards seeing a ton of play, and Aurora was on
Well,
there.
I mean, just being honest, like the Powerline and Max Goof stuff, they're cute and they can do some cool stuff, but I don't know. It's one of those combinations like it feels like it needs a few more cards. I definitely feel like next set, if we get the right support cards, those are the ones that people are going to be like, you should have got Powerline and Max Goof when he was $5.
Yeah, 1 or 2 songs, and that card is pretty busted.
Like 1 or 2 songs and just like a draw engine, like, and not even you don't even need something great. You need like something along the lines of Ursula's Shell Necklace in another color, right? Like something like Maurice's Workshop, or I don't know, like I don't know what it would take, but it's real close. It's like just right there to being as consistent as you need it to be.
Yeah. 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 It's. I mean, that's one of those cards you just see the potential. Like 2-3 years from now, we're gonna remember a time when that card wasn't played and wasn't busted, and I mean, because it's just ridiculous. And wait till Be Prepared gets reprinted, and it's just gonna be crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the other card was, and I can't. Anyway, hopefully the video is coming out soon, and it'll be fun. Here's a fun fact, though: 538 Dumbos in the room. Out of all the Dumbo slots available in decks, if everybody could run 4 of, there were only 87 not used, which seems high, but I think some people just couldn't find them. And if you
I think it's more so people couldn't find them than anything.
Yeah. I think that's right. And then if you do the math and assume that each Dumbo was purchased at a cost of about $60, it's $33,000 worth of Dumbos alone in the room. Yeah.
I didn't need that math in my life. I was one of those people that like, the first weekend I was like, all right, I got to find somebody who's going to sell me 4 Dumbos. And so I paid the first week premium price. And it is not, I think if anything, it's not stagnated. It might be like a little bit more expensive than the first week. I think I was paying like 45-50 per Dumbo.
Yeah, I think wait till Milwaukee. I think there's a lot of people waiting to hope that an additional wave will come out and kind of lower the price.
I don't even think with a wave the price is going to go down. To be honest with you, I think,
Yeah,
but like, why are we going to lower the price with the second wave when we can just get all of the ones in the second wave and continue selling them for $60 a pop?
yeah. Um, Sorry, I'm just realizing I forgot to send the link to one of our guests, like I'm wont to do. So I'm going to do that quickly.
We are
Um,
professionals here.
we are,
Absolutely no problems. Don't look behind the mirror.
yeah. Don't worry, we are professionals. Um,
The man behind the curtain is in fact real.
yep. So there you go. All right, so
Courtney
that link is
Dempsey
out.
saying she's pulled 16 Dumbo. How much product have you gotten? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like,
Yeah, that's really
I
crazy.
have, so even at Denver, um, on the Friday event when I made top 16, I went to the ticket wall to try to cash out, and they were out of fabled boxes when I finally had time to go and like cash out and get product. There was no more. So like the fact that you've found enough product to open that many Dumbos is insane because I haven't been able to purchase a box.
Yeah, I did open one box, and I mean it's all online. I didn't get anything super cool. Bunch of legendaries, but no Dumbo. But then this is fun. This is random stuff before we actually get started the episode. Then I had to record a video that an awesome content creator, Hobbyist Novice, is working on. I hope I'm not supposed to spoil this, but subscribe to his channel if you haven't. There's a pack rush series that he's working on, and I played an opponent, and my packs were not great. Fun fact: we forgot during the match that in pack rush you can ink anything, and
I also didn't know that rule, to be
yep,
fair.
I totally forgot, and it resulted in some brick hands for both of us. But then I got done with those packs, and so of course that fresh box was sitting down there, and I got nothing good in my pack, so I had to go through packs and find a few legendaries, and opened one and opened another, and made it to the bottom of the first stack and pulled an aerial.
Hey,
So that felt pretty good.
oddly enough, I think I've seen Ariel pulled more than any other enchanted this set.
I agree, actually. I
Which
agree.
which is, I don't know, it feels like a weird statistic. I feel like not normally I can look at things I've seen from my friends and in person and like kind of make a correlation, but for sure I've seen an egregious amount of enchanted aerials out in the wild.
Yeah. And it's probably good because I think that's one of the chases this set. Just
She
for
is
the
very
art.
pretty. Yeah.
Just for the art. Princess. I mean, she's not played really, but the princess tax is there for sure because she's still, 120. For a non-played enchanted is pretty darn good. So, yeah.
I mean, look, when
It's
you
cool.
make the princess enchanteds look that good.
Yeah. Solid work. Okay. Well. Yeah. So. Maybe I'll open a pack while I'm sitting here. See if I had a Courtney. Give me some luck on this pack. Let's see if I had a Dumbo. I'll open one birthday pack.
Speaking of like good luck on packs, remember when we were in Denver and watching Katie open all of her packs? Oh
Yep.
my gosh, her pack, her box was just so good. She got like what 11 legendaries or something, and like 3 epics.
Yeah, most ridiculous box I've ever seen, and an enchanted. No iconic. But speaking of which, there was an iconic pulled this weekend at the Diet Coke Invitational.
An iconic.
An iconic.
Ooh, which one?
So it was Mickey.
Oh, the good one.
Yeah, which is the one I hadn't seen yet. So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, really fun weekend this weekend with the DCI. For those, it's a giant tank and a poor unfortunate souls. So poor unfortunate soul, me, who again, not a terribly great. I mean, Big Tank. I'll never complain about Big Tank like ever.
Nah, Big Tank is. I think Big Tank is one of those like she's always kind of on the threshold of she's going to be in the deck or
Yeah.
any like any steel deck that can run her. she always has like an argument for like, well, I mean, you're a big tank. I swear, if Grab Your Swords was in the set, she would be like an immediate staple.
Yeah, yeah, bonkers, bonkers card, and just beautiful, like one of the most iconic pieces of art in the first set. So, probably more cosplay. I mean, probably the second most cosplayed character. I think Tiny Tactician. I've seen more of her, but yeah. So yeah, Diet Coke Invitational. I do want to mention that real quick this weekend. I know you almost came. I know you're thinking about it. But we did get to go, and it was a ton of fun. This is a like community led event in the Fort Worth area where the organizer, who just loves Diet Coke, hurts her first TCG, wanted to do something for the community, and so the created this tournament. The price of admission is a 12-pack of Diet Coke, and had almost 100 people come out. They had raffles set up, so even 12-pack of Diet Coke is what, like $4 or $5? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I will say, according to Inktex, there's 128 players.
Oh, well, that's more than we're there. But maybe some duplicates. But they had all sorts of raffles there. They raffled off a box of Fabled and some prizes and some shirts and playmats and things like that. You got a pack per win. So like, even let's say a 12-pack of Diet Coke is like $6 or less, or like around the $6 range. One win and you've already like evened with a pack of Fable that you get. So just a really generous, fun tournament. And we saw new players there. We had one player on stream round one, I think, or is either round one or two? No, round two. Terry, I think her name was. It was her first ever like competitive Lorcana tournament, which is super cool. So first ever feature match. She was 1-0 when she went on stream. And then we had some really good players. Bobby Break was there. There was a couple like Golden Mickey winners in the room. So it was just a really, really fun event. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. So shout out to Kirby for organizing that, and Bree and Courtney from Enchanted Chatter, and Remington for the commentary, and Joey for being the head judge, and everybody who helped put that on. It was a lot of fun. And if anybody can go next year or whenever Kirby runs out of Diet Coke and wants to do it again, you should check it out.
Let's say it's like almost an annual thing now, isn't it? Because she did it year previously, so maybe it is like a year's supply. And just like around this time, she's like, "All right, time to do it again." I will say I was keeping track of it all weekend and just trying to keep up, seeing what was played, because any big event, I think you're going to see something that's going to inadvertently shape the meta in one way or the other. I don't know. Like, do you want to talk about a couple of the cool decks that we there, or?
Yeah, let's do it real quick before we move into some of the more social stuff. I guess we should mention real quick, and a player you highlighted, that Blurple won.
Yeah. As far as I have been told, he is a student of Sailor's, and Sailor was very proud to see that somebody he's been coaching for a while make it. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Looks fairly stock. 3 Iago, 3 Mim, 1 TikTok. The Monstros, I feel like, are a little bit different, but still something that we're seeing a lot of. I mean, it just looks solid. I've literally 0 notes.
No notes. I will say Monstro is a fun card. I feel like I saw less of Monstro in the early days of this meta. Maybe seeing 1 or 2 decks work it in, like it back at CCS. And then here this weekend, it seemed like the preponderance of decks had worked Monstro in. On the low end, we had a 1 of, and then on the high end, somebody ran 3, which is always interesting to me. 3 tells me that's a card that you want to see every game, at least 1 of. And I think usually he's been one that you filter for and you find if you need him. So seeing him as a 3 of was interesting to me, and a deck that performed pretty well. So
no, for sure. I mean, depending on the matchup you run into, he can either be the best card that you can play around that ink cost, or he can be ink to do something else. So,
yeah. Here we have Call an Ambulance by Parrot Emerson. This finished in the top 4, I believe. Was it top 4 or 5? What do you think of this? Top 4, yeah.
Yeah, top 4. So, I mean, Sapphire Steel is a deck. I mean, R&B is constantly, he refuses to ever admittedly be like, all right, we're never going to play this again. So every other week, R&B puts another Sapphire Steel list into the chat and is like, all right, guys, I think I got it. I mean, it's just something that has all the tools, right? You have Ramp, you have Hades, you have Robin Hood, you have Tinkerbell, you have Strength. Beyond the Horizon is just an insane draw engine. I'm not sure why he has. Well, I mean, Stitch is like a solid 4-drop if you're running into other steel decks, but because he's just an annoying body to deal with. I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of complaints. I do like Smash because I mean, this deck just gets up to the ink counts that you need it. I do like Scrooge right now. I feel like this very much so is kind of a meta pick. This is saying I really wanted to run into steel, and I will just destroy steel if I run into them because I have big bodies, I have efficient removal, and I'm bigger than you at all points of the game.
Yeah, I think seeing Amber Steel like crush folks out at PPG, probably on the heels of that, probably a pretty safe pick. It is interesting though. Like I find the Fort Worth area tends to be a lot more control-y in its meta. I pop up there for a tournament every now and then, and not as much aggro meta share wise. I feel like generally, but yeah,
Good. A room full of gentlemen.
right. And then here we have a Blue Milk by Candace Hager. And yeah, I think this is, I mean, there's a couple interesting.
Only one Hades is criminal. What?
Hades, I think, the most reprinted card. No, I'm sorry. Hades is one of them. Genie is the most played reprinted card.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But like I'm saying, it's crazy that somebody chose to play this ink combination. It was like the most powerful removal tool I have. I only need one.
Fair, but top 8.
No, I mean you can't laugh at the results. I mean he made it.
So yeah.
Again, I mean like no notes, just Donald Duck, John Silver, Clarabelle, the one of Hades though. That's
yeah. And the last one, there's a couple of the fun builds, but I want to find that one just because I think it was fun to watch.
the down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So this is the one that you were telling me about that was just interesting to watch. And
yeah.
I pointed out like my only problem with it is that if you don't start off with your shift down in New Orleans, and now I have 2 big bodies on the board on turn 3, turn 4, then you literally have nothing in the deck to play. That's incredibly impactful after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it really it thrives. I mean, there's a lot of good cards in this deck, a lot of good cards in the top end. It does have the the Under the Sea for anti-aggro, but really what it thrives on is the turn 4 shift into a 6-cost character, immediately sing down to New Orleans, and then bring out another 6-cost. So you can get John Silver's End of the Battlefield effect off that. You can get Mother Gothel's bounce off of that. You can even shift to Mother Gothel, get the bounce, then get another bounce off the top deck. So it's really built around that combo. And I don't know how good it is in a competitive setting, but for sure it's fun for leagues. It may do well in some set champs. It actually won, several matches here, and it's just kind of fun to see it go. Because when you have 2 6-cost characters sitting on the board, on turn 3, if you hit the ramp, it just feels, I don't know, feels bad when you're staring at that. So
no, it's like I said, like if you hit the thing it's trying to do, I mean, just with all like I mean, the majority of the deck is just 6 costs. So down in New Orleans is going to hit something. So I mean, if you hit the thing and you do it, it's pretty powerful. But man, if you don't hit the thing, I'm sure it feels real bad.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't get the combo off, like you watch it and it kind of, it takes a while to get going. You really need like breathing room to kind of get started. But a lot of fun stuff. And I enjoyed the gimmick. I enjoyed the build. So, and it plays in the top 16. So there you go.
Yeah,
I will say a lot of people, 4 people brought in Ruby Steel.
Again, a deck that I think if you play into Amber Steel or Amethyst Steel for the majority of your run, I genuinely do think that Ruby Steel just kind of runs over those 2 decks. But you have to run into those 2. And then, like, for Amethyst Steel specifically, just hope they don't have strength into Doc into Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun to watch. I was rooting for it, but all for the 20 Lore Pro crew. Shout out to them. Came up from Waco and all bringing a version of this deck, and they just got nobody did well. But kudos to everybody for trying. I appreciate people bringing in Ruby Steel in honor of Diet Coke. I feel like that was a flavor pick. So
No, for sure.
kudos.
And like they were working on that all weekend at Denver.
Yeah.
So like it's something that for sure has had some time and love put into it. The problem we found in Denver was like sometimes you run into Blurple and you're just like, okay, I can't touch any of your characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it has some really fun combos in it. It just they never got it to really go.
Well, again, like if your run like is just into Amber Steel and Amethyst Steel for the majority of the day, I genuinely think that like you just get yourself into a like just you're going to Top Cut if that's your run.
Yeah. No, I agree. But yeah, anyway, that's it was DCI. If anybody didn't see it, check it out. About 100 players, some very good players, and some fun decks. So every match that I saw on stream was very well piloted. Great crowd of folks and some really interesting builds, and I enjoyed it very much. So shout out to everybody who was involved in that, and I can't wait to do it again. Somebody asked earlier what they do with all that Diet Coke. Two things. One, you build a throne out of it because
what else are you gonna do?
you do. Yeah, right. And take some great pictures. I'll see if I can pull one up later. And then Kirby, I assume, drinks it all year. So there you go. It reminds me. Oh, no, I won't tell that story. It's a dumb story. All right. But we should get into the kind of the topic on the thumbnail, Logan, because I see a ton of people in the chat who are here to talk about some of these formats we're going to talk about tonight. I don't know. A lot of the heroic community runs deep apparently because they are all here.
I mean, just as a fun little segue, I genuinely do think with Fabled we see a huge push in just social and community play, as well as obviously we're starting season 2. We have Bologna and Milwaukee coming up, and just every weekend it's felt like we've had a really big event that if anybody's just really looking to compete and push and grind and go for it, we can do that. But I don't think I've seen the social players or just league players or the overall community who doesn't go to every single big player event that you and I tend to go to are enjoying the format. Like I'm seeing a lot of that happening. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, like our leagues are actually firing off with more people than they have in a while." I just think Fabled is a good set for that.
I agree. It's interesting. For every person that has said on a comment to one of our videos or on Reddit in a subreddit, because I dive through there every now and then. For every person who said, I'm skipping Fabled, I don't care for the reprints, I've been here forever, I don't need these cards. I've seen the same number of posts from somebody saying, hey, I'm a Magic player who's been waiting in the wings, and Fabled seemed like the right entry point, or Fabled is my first set, or people who had been eyeballing the game forever, and then for whatever reason, the aesthetic, the welcome to the story, or the I don't know what it is, but Fabled is their access point, and so I think it has been successful in that regard. So I think you're right. Yeah. So the other thing, the reason I think it's important to talk about these other formats, these fan run formats, is we do tend to get hyper focused on the competitive scene because it's where a lot of the players are, where a lot of the action is, and it's where I think you and I spend most of our time for different reasons, but it's where we live. But when you look at TCGs in general, the ones that survive long term and have been around for decades, even the preponderance of the player base is not playing in competitive, like high level competitive events. They find other ways to enjoy the game, whether it's just collecting or whether it's playing a different format that's a little more casual that they invent or that they have fun with. And it can go all the way from, if we're going to talk about Magic, like Commander, which can be somewhat competitive and very structured, to weird formats like Forgotten Fish, which is a thing And if you're into Magic, you should look it up because it's really hilarious, and it involves Dan, and it's a really fun format. But yeah, so it's really, I think everybody involved in a TCG can find has their preferred way to enjoy the game, and the more avenues that we have for people to enjoy a TCG, the more successful it'll be long term, and the better it is for all of us. So with that, I'm 10 minutes overdue bringing him in, but I'd like to welcome our first guest, Default Dan from the Incast. Hey,
what's up, guys? What is up?
Best day of my life.
Yeah, right. Full disclosure, big fan. I've enjoyed your podcast. I mean, I don't know, I can't remember when you all came, online, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, around when Lorcana was launched, or even a little before.
Yeah,
so very old.
Most of us have been playing since launch, since set one. I remember trying to track down product of set one and found some of the starter decks and some stuff like that. But yeah, I think we started making content maybe a month or two before DCL, our DLC Atlanta. One of the first couple videos that I put out there that got a lot of traction was just kind of like, hey, here's some tips and tricks for your first event, because I've got 20 plus years of Magic experience going to all the opens and GPs and all that kind of stuff. So I know it's daunting, especially with how many new people came to Lorcana that have never been to a 1,000-person event or more, because we've seen some bigger events coming through. So yeah, that was one of the first videos we put out, just to kind of get out there with the community.
Yeah, I remember a lot of your early stuff, especially, was about accessibility and welcoming people into the game and navigating the TCG space. So I appreciated it a lot. Also jealous of your neon sign, by the way.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a link of where you can get one for behind you.
Please. Mine came from Temu. And
not quite as official, but he's trying.
No, and it's on the ground because I haven't finished setting up my studio.
We can see the glow. That's the important part.
Yeah. That's step one, is glowy lights. That's level one. No, level one is shelves with tchotchkes. Level 2 is the glowy lights. Level 3 is the neon sign, and that's how you know you made it.
You get the one with your name on it, and then you're good.
Yeah.
I was say I'm not even level 1. Hold on, I need to start rethinking.
You need some shelves.
Yeah.
You need some shelves.
My problem is, like, I'm way too close to this wall for that. So,
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'll be moving soon. But let's not get too hard off topic on that.
Yeah. But that's it is funny. You notice, like, different podcasters, especially, very, very quickly have that similar kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But it's fun. So okay, so want to talk about Heroic. I'm just gonna start from the very beginning. I'm sure most people here have heard of this format and understand it, but just in case, first, like, why Heroic? Where did the idea come from? And then 2, can you explain the format a little bit for those who are unfamiliar?
Yeah, absolutely. So to give you a little bit of a background, we kind of started with the Heroic format about a year and a half ago. And then it's a little over a year since we put out the first video to the community. And this comes from, like I mentioned, 20 years plus of Magic. And when I was in Magic, I wasn't a huge Commander person, but I did play it, right? I had the decks. Every now and then we do Commander nights rather than doing Constructed and things like that. And I think one of the big things with Lorcana is there's so many franchises, there's so many characters, there's so many cards that are just like really cool cards, but they're not good enough for Constructed. So there's nowhere to play these cool cards that you want to play, these cool combos that take 3 cards to do it. And if you try to do that in Constructed, especially pre-rotation, they just got blown away with a strength or whatever before you could set it up. So I was sitting down with a bunch of the guys and we're like, hey, what if we tried to do this Commander thing? But I don't want to just copy Commander. I don't want to just take that and just, card for card, rule for rule, make the same thing. I want to make it feel Disney. I want to make it feel Lorcana, but also, again, get to use those cards that we never get to use. So for everybody out there in the chat, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube or even X,
or the one person on Facebook. There's always one.
The one on Facebook. So what Heroic is it's a multiplayer format. So it's really meant to be played with 3+ people, 4 people we found is kind of the sweet spot. But we played with 5 and we played for 6, and so on. But you need to make a 100 card deck. So they're going to be singleton. You have to have 1 copy of every card. You can't have more than that unless there's a couple cards out there like Tailwagger, Microbots, Glass Slipper that actually specifically say you can have more than 1. But outside of that, it's all singleton. And then instead of having 1 commander, you're going to have 3 different cards. And so this is where we really sat down and we tested a whole bunch of stuff. We tried a bunch of stuff, and we really wanted to make this feel Disney. And we started with, what is Disney? When you look at a Disney movie, what makes up a Disney movie? And realistically, you have your main character, you have their sidekick that's always with them, and then you have that song, that one song that gets stuck in your head that you just can't get out. The kids are singing it all the time. So we kind of started with those 3 types of cards. So, for your main character, I think originally we were calling it a hero, which again, then people got confused because they were like, well, I want to use a villain. And just like going back to Disney movies, like Cruella is a main character in her movies. So we just went ahead and started and said, hey, let's just make that a legendary. Let's make it easy. Anybody can approach it. They understand it. If it's a legendary, it has been printed as a legendary, you can use that as your main character. Then you have your sidekick. So we use the ally tag. Again, just the easy tag, makes sense. It's your ally to your character. And then your third one being that song. So it has to be a song, but we didn't want to just say, hey, it's just a song, because then literally everybody would have the same song, right? There's 4 or 5 really powerful songs in Lorcana. So we wanted to give that stipulation to say that your main character has to be able to sing the song because it's their song that they're singing, just like in a movie. And that defines your colors of your deck. So this allows us now to have 3 ink colors instead of just 2. So again, separating us a little bit from core, but still staying true to kind of that Lorcana feel. So those 3 cards, no matter how you kind of mix and match those, we go up to 3 colors right now. There's discussions of maybe opening that in the future, but as of now, we think it creates a really good diversity with just those 3 colors, and that defines kind of the rest of the deck. And I will also put this out because I know Zenulus, you've played with color, and I know she's going to come on a little bit. We just kind of tried to create like, what's the standard rules for the format. We're starting to have a rules committee, as well as an advisory board. We've got people out there filling out forms, and we're working through our interviews. So if you filled a form out, trust me, we're going to get to you. Don't worry.
They're a small operation as far as
yes, exactly. So we know that there's going to be house rules. So I just want to kind of throw that out there, that some people will have different rules that they want to try and do. And I know Color has some house rules, and I'm sure she'll talk about that, and you guys will talk about that when she comes on a little bit. But we just wanted to start something, right? And I know when we threw this out, we got so much, I don't want to say hate, but you guys know, a lot of people saying like, don't do this, don't bring in Commander, this isn't going to work. And it's like, just try it. And we know that with every set, we get more legendaries. With every set, we get more cards. And I feel like probably 2 sets ago, we started getting a world where you weren't just playing the same 15 Ruby cards when you used Ruby, or the same 15 Sapphire cards or so on. And with Fabled, we got a lot of reprints, so people have access to it, but I really can't wait till Whispers, because I think that that's going to be the moment of Heroic that like I'll finally have decks that I'm not just putting in cards just because they're good in that color. Because right now I still got about 5 cards. I tend to grab per color. So
no, for sure. Like you said, I've played both before Color made her house rules version. I played that one because Wonderland actually was the first one who told me about it. He's like, hey guys, made this, I tried it, let's give it a shot. So we did it. I forget which DLC it was, but he had 2 decks that he'd built, and he's like, let's just for fun see what happens. I feel like I'm always in a weird spot when it comes to alternate formats, because across any game I've ever played, I'm never the guy who's like, I'm going to go play an alternate format. I'm always a core constructed person, but I absolutely see the value in people finding a way to make the game accessible and fun for themselves, right? As being someone who doesn't do a lot of alternate format things, I see the value and understand that not everybody wants to come and sit down and play against the 4 to 6 meta decks all day, every day, and figure out the strategies. So finding the way to alter the game and make it something that you can really enjoy and connect with more people. I mean, just being a multiplayer format in general invites the need to have more friends and just a community around that. So I personally just love seeing things like that come to fruition and people actually trying it and pushing it and being excited about it, because any growth that pushes Lorcana in general is good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and when you talk about like multiplayer, again, there's tons of ways to play the game, and that was another comment we got a lot of when we first starting out, right? And the first videos coming out a year ago was that like, oh, why don't you just play multiplayer? And I'm like, the problem with a multiplayer just out of the box format, right? Not that it's not a bad thing, but you're going to end up in the same spot as a competitive spot, right? When you're playing any type of competitive, and I would say for the most part, heroic really isn't quote unquote competitive. Yes, you can make a competitive deck, but it is truly just to have fun. And with multiplayer, when you actually start to push that format, you're going to find people just using cards that say, you know, each opponent. So your Lady Tremaine's, your Pirate's Life, and things like that. And in that format,
Sudden Chill being a minute.
right, exactly. And in that format, you end up with this world of like, now you have 4 of all these cards. So you're gonna crack the meta of a multiplayer format when you're playing it, quote unquote, normal multiplayer, like you would with core constructed. And again, I play constructed as well. I've got a mat from every one of the set champs. So like I'm also in that world, but I just love this as kind of I think we do it bi-weekly in the area. We all get together and play at a shop, and it's fun just to have something different rather than just, you know, going to set champs like last set champs and just seeing Rhino everywhere on the table. Yeah. So I guess now it's just Dumbo everywhere on the table.
Unless you're Kindle Noah, not Burnett, then you don't need those.
I have to admit, I got back into Magic. So when War of the Spark came out, so it's probably like what 18, 17, 18, you know, after like, I don't know, 20 years off. And Commander was new to me. I immediately went and dug out my Ristic Studies from my bulk box and cashed them in. But I didn't get it. I was Logan. I was the same. Like I was like, I'm a competitive player and I play in competitive events. And I was like, I don't understand this format where you spend some of your precious time to just sit down and play a game, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Basically, like it doesn't compute.
I always feel so jaded when I explain that in that way, but like that's genuinely how my brain works. I'm just like, I'm not here to have fun.
Yeah,
and then I feel weird for saying it.
But then, so then what really turned the corner for me is I started watching Command Zone and game nights. And that was super fun, especially the episode where Brandon Sanderson was role playing Nicol Bolas. And it was really, really funny. And then eventually I was like, oh, I get it. It's not about if you win or lose. It's about doing cool things.
Yeah.
And watching players in that format, like they're designing their decks to do a specific thing, whether it's like an Aristocrats build, or something where you're like, I just want my deck to do X, Y, and Z. I want to do this combo. And if you got to do that combo and like everybody's like, oh my goodness, that's a cool combo, and you got to do the thing, it almost didn't matter to the players on the show if they won or lost, because they got to see their deck in action. And I was like, oh, that's super fun. And then the role-playing aspect came into it, and I don't know. So I'm a fan. I have a 75% built commander deck, and that's it. But I appreciate the format, and I can see the value, and I also love the multiplayer aspect where you can get together with a group of friends and you don't have, you know, 2 people playing while other people are watching. And so I don't know, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fun things. And again, you're going to be talking to Color in a little bit, but that's one of her big things at the end of their episodes is, did you get to do your thing? Which I find awesome, because again, when you look at these decks, and I know I sent you over a couple links to a couple of them, and you know, when we build these decks, right, when we started to play, and it's funny because whenever you talk to a lot of people who are like, I want to get into heroic, I want to build a deck, they tend to gravitate towards Ruby and Emerald. It's their first 2 colors, and they're like, hey, these 2 are going to be the best because they all say each opponent. But the more we've been able to kind of scale and go, we've been actually creating decks where you get to do some synergistic stuff. And in this one, it is very daunting, and so we are planning on doing a lot of content on some, deck techs and things like that, so people can jump in and copy some decks if they want to. But this particular deck we're called Mickey and the Muscle, which is the bodyguard Mickey is your main character. And so one of the nuances from your storyboard, so when we talk about the three special cards, your hero, your main character, your sidekick, and your song, they kind of live in their own zone, which would be the command zone in Magic, but here we call it the storyboard. And you get to play them at any point. And then, of course, once they were to be banished or go back to the storyboard, you have to add an ink tax, which means all your cards now cost 1 extra to be able to play. So you have to kind of like balance how you're playing those cards, but there's special things that get around that. So specifically with this bodyguard Mickey, you get to shift and you can get around that ink tax. So this whole deck is just every Mickey in these 3 colors so that you can keep shifting them out. And he also says every time you play them, you get to draw a card for every bodyguard you have on the board. So you just do a bunch of bodyguards in the deck because they're also big and beefy. So you're shifting your Mickey out, you're drawing cards. You've got a lot of cards in here that get to, plus defense to your characters, or you get to do some other things. You've got a bunch of revive spells, so our songs and actions. So even if they get banished into your discard pile, you can bring them back. It's just a lot of fun through that, and it's very synergistic because it's kind of hero based. All your Mickeys and everything, and most characters are heroes in here. So you had Phil, like you scrolled over for a second, like just a lot of synergy built in here. And again, you're getting to play so many cards that were never good enough to be inside of core constructed, like you wouldn't take to a tournament or anything, but they work so well together here. And it doesn't matter what part of your deck you draw, they all kind of synergize and work together. So this one's been a really fun one. And we've seen a couple different people at our local events bring a deck similar with just nuances of different cards in it. But the Mickey Shift Mickey's been a really, really fun one.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of like set 1. There was a deck where they used all of the Musketeers. So like the Mickey, I think there was a Goofy, and like the Musketeers Tabard. So this kind of gives me that same.
Yeah. All those cards are in here too.
Yeah, the same kind of vibe. Like, and I tried to. I mean, I played that deck a lot. I think set 1 that was my fun deck, just because who doesn't want to play the Mickey Musketeer? So just that theming in general, I think, is really fun.
Absolutely. And so that was one of the ones I wanted to show off really quick to start, just because, again, we're talking Disney. Mickey is the face of Disney. So why not start with a Mickey deck? The next one, I think, is the puppies. Yeah. So this one, big shout out to Lady Brittany, who's over in the chat as well. This is one of her decks. She actually beat us with in one of the things, but it has like 30 something, maybe 40 puppy tail waggers in the deck. But it is 100% themed to your dogs. It's got a couple cats scattered in there, but it's all the puppies, all the dogs. They synergize really, really well. And I'm not going to be mad because she beat me off of 99 puppies off the top of the deck to tap, to, exert out and win with some lore here. But this one really revolves around Perdita being your main character. So again, when she comes down or quest, you get your 2 drops back. You've got the other Perdita in here, so like you can ink any of the puppies that are in your discard. So after they've kind of gone away, you can use them as ink. You had Peg as your sidekick, so it lets you draw some cards throughout. And then the song is Ever As Before. So she was able to use that and remove a bunch of damage off of all of the different characters out there. So yeah, it was fun. She also got to use that song kind of in the world of politics. So that's the other thing Heroic gives you, is to be like, hey, I'll heal your characters as long as you don't, challenge my stuff, or you go after that person with your character. So politicking is another big thing with Heroic that you don't get in your other formats. And again, some people don't like it, some people do. But it does have a whole nother thing of like having to work together to maybe make sure that one super aggro deck isn't taking over the board.
Yeah. I'm just looking at all the puppy themed things.
And it's really themed out. Like she went really hard and deep, even if some of the cards aren't that good in here.
I love it.
It's super on theme, which again, kind of showing that you can do it and it can win. It can win out of nowhere.
I mean, like all of the puppy synergy stuff is inherently strong. It's just kind of like you're saying, it's just not strong enough most of the time to get in on like anything meta. But for somebody who's trying to just build a theme or have like a good lead night, I mean, they are absolutely good enough for that. So you just put together a 100 card singleton. You're just like, oh look, all kind of like you were saying with the Mickey deck. It doesn't matter what half of the deck you're drawing, all of them are still just working together.
Exactly. And the good thing about this one, especially as like a new player, if you're getting in here into heroic and stuff, there's so many of the tail waggers. Like you never have to think about inking because again, with heroic being singleton, it feels really bad when you ink cards because you're never going to see them again unless maybe you play Mufasa or something like that. But for the most part, it's really tough to decide what you ink. And at least with this deck, you always have some kind of tail wagger in your hand to ink. So this was a really good one that she actually took to Gen Con. So she took 8 different heroic decks to Gen Con, got everybody who wanted to play was able to play. And this is one of those decks she took, which was just easy to kind of pick up, understand what you were doing with the deck, and be able to play it.
So I feel like Dog Normus must have created this account just for this moment. Shout out there, ridiculous. Yeah, the ink curve in this deck is cracking me up, by the way. But also, something else I want to point out about the format.
42 2-drops.
Something else that is appealing about a singleton format as well. The other one is a little more expensive, but take a look at this: $28.
Yeah.
Which is a third of a Dumbo. So
every deck going forward is measured in Dumbo.
Right. How many Dumbos? So just another fun note, and it's another reason why these formats can be so appealing is, especially since they're eternal formats, you can invest in a copy of a card. You only need one for your deck. And then, you can build these decks and they're good forever, just with slight upgrades here and there, perhaps. So from a financial perspective, they're also appealing for people who are not keen on keeping up with the competitive grind.
Exactly. And, going into the last deck, when we talk about having a deck that you can continue to invest in, the other deck is princesses. And now Lady Brittany has a different princess deck than I do. Her princess deck is all about the bling and showing off all of the enchanted. So she even runs different colors than I do. But on mine, this is where we go into more of that competitive nature or that CDH, if you're from the Commander world, where you want to have something that just goes off and can win in one turn. So in this deck, it is a little more pricey, but I think in a few of my cards, I've actually like flagged which ones I have as enchanted because I did pick up some cheaper enchanteds for the deck. But in this one, you're focusing around Cinderella, Melody Weaver. And so if you don't know that Cinderella, she's singer 9. And every time she sings a song, all your princesses get an additional lore for the turn. So yeah, she's 6-drop, I think. So she should be in there. And so the whole point is she is your main character and you kind of wait until you get some princesses down. The rest of your deck, you are kind of shuffling through a lot of your cards. So the steel is going to give you a lot of that draw discard to make sure you're getting what you need. There's tons and tons of princesses throughout this, and they're all really good princesses to be able to use. Your ally or sidekick is Mushu. And so he's just really there, one, to give a steal, but also to be able to throw him down if you have a bunch of princesses out to get that extra little lore. But the combo comes into place of the song, and the song is Go the Distance. So if you don't know what Go the Distance is, but it is a 2-drop song. And as long as there's damage on a character, you can sing the song and untap the character, and you can ready the character. Again, I'm still working on terminology after 20 years. So yeah, so the idea is we have some cards in there in the steel that can put damage on any character. And so you just put a little damage on her. And then because she's singer 9, she can sing the song like 6 or 7 times, just targeting herself to ready and then sing it again and then ready and sing it again. Even with the ink tack, she should be able to do it 5 or 6 times, giving any princess on the board 5 or 6 additional lore. So even if you only have like 4 or 5 princesses out there, you can essentially win in one turn with this combo if your Cinderella can just make it around the board one time. You're good to go. So it's a really cool deck, and when it wins, it wins. But then once people know what you're doing, you do have to find ways of protecting her to make her way all the way around. But it's a lot of fun. And again, I just wanted to kind of pick 3 random decks. Again, we played with tons of decks over the last year. But these are 3 that I kind of felt like were like, hey, what's an easy deck, which would be kind of your puppies? What's a deck that shows you some synergies with the Mickey and stuff? And like, what's a super heavy combo deck, which kind of shows off with the princesses? But we've had fun with it. And again, with all the different rules and all the different things, it just works in general. And I would say if you've never tried it, find some friends, put a cheap deck together, and give it a shot, because I honestly, anybody who's played it, I really haven't had a single person say, I don't like this format. Everybody's enjoyed it that's played it. Even if it's not their cup of tea, because I think Zenulus, you've played it with color. And again, even if it's not your cup of tea, it's not something you'd be like, oh, I hate this format, right? Like there's
No,
still
for sure.
pros in
The
it.
worst.
Yeah, no, like legitimately, like when we played it on Allies, I mean, just because the people we were with, like I was enjoying it and having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that I would ever invest a lot of time into.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that I wouldn't encourage people to try it by any means. I think
Yeah.
this is something that's a really good alternative format that if it sounds interesting and you think it might be something that you would gravitate towards, absolutely try it. Kind of like I said before, as somebody who doesn't delve a lot into alternative formats, having access to those things and
Yeah.
having people there that do spend time into it and develop it and have the passion and love for it to help make it what it is. I mean, like I said, anything that pushes Lorcana up, I'm a fan of. So
Yeah, and I would say the last little thing around the format in general, one of the big reasons why I feel like we've seen a bigger push of the format over the last few months really has been the announcement of rotation. Losing the first 4 sets, losing, there's a lot of players out there that like that was kind of what put them on the fence of, do I leave Lorcana or do I stay, because I've invested in these cards, I have all these things that I can't play anymore. We have Infinity, but realistically, a lot of shops aren't supporting that format, and they're not going to until we get closer to which one? It's not Richmond, but
it's the third DLC.
Yeah. So not until we get closer to that, we'll see some stores kind of pop up supporting that specifically around
Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indy. So it's definitely one of those things where like I feel like over the last few months we've seen more people interested in like, okay, how can I play these cards? And this is just one of those, formats. I mean, there's other formats out there, but this is one of those formats that allows you to play with any of your cards. And as of now, we've only got 3 restricted cards. We wouldn't say banned, but they're restricted, being that you can't have them in your storyboard. You can have them in the 97, but not the 3, being a Whole New World, Be Prepared, and Beyond the Horizon. So we found that those 3 cards specifically are just a little too strong to be able to use those every single turn. But who knows, with the inclusion of these different groups, the rules, like I said, the rules committee and the heroic advisory board, we may find other cards that we want to talk about over in those in the storyboard, or even the 97. But as of now, we feel like every card feels good in the 97. So if you're looking for a place to run some of those cards, that your Belle or something like that that's no longer usable, or your Rapunzel, this is a place that you can definitely give it a shot.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the format for all those things you mentioned. And yeah, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and Brittany and all the other folks, the passionate folks keeping this alive. I see you down there, Additional Ink, and you other content creators. So it's a fun format, and I don't know, the more ways that people have to enjoy Lorcana, just I think the better it is for all of us who enjoy the game. And the more likely the game will be around for the long term. So I appreciate you. I will. So there's for those interested, if you're hearing about Heroic for the first time, or perhaps you want to dive in, there's a Discord server where they very passionately discuss the format with the fans, and I'm going to make sure that we put a link to that Discord server in the show notes. If you're watching, if you're one of the folks watching over on Twitter, there's no show notes there, so like pop over to the YouTubes and check it out.
Yeah.
And check out the Discord server if you're interested. And Dan, I can't wait to see like what you do with the format moving forward.
No, I appreciate it, man. Again, now we just gotta knock on RB's door and be like, hey, can we have a side event somewhere, please? Please.
Yeah, right.
Cross the fingers. But no, I appreciate you having me on, talking about this and everything. And like you mentioned, we have the Discord. There's like 200 plus people in the Discord, so definitely pop over there if you guys are interested. We stream usually every Thursday over on the channel. We try to get a 4-person game going, so if you want to see it live, you can check out that as well. Or over on the Incast, you can see some of the VODs of previous ones, like last week, or it was the week before last. We did monocolor decks, which was a lot of fun too, trying to figure out how do you get 100 good cards in one color, and all the decks seemed to work pretty well. So it was a lot of fun.
I love it. Well, make sure if you're watching, you're interested, make sure you go check out the channel, check out the Discord server, and yeah, again, I can't wait to see where this goes. Maybe we'll do like a every other week, like a heroic deck highlight or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, thank you so much. You're always invited back, and I'm so glad after years that we did this.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm always so bad at hitting the sorry mid-sentence.
We're professionals here.
We are professionals. No, that was super fun. The high quality content over there at the Incast. So definitely go check it out if you haven't subscribed to that channel. Well, we have a few other guests to get to. Logan.
We do. We can do it. We've got it.
Let's
on that fun note, I'm gonna go refill my water bottle right quick because we have a little bit more talking to do, and if I don't have more water, I won't make it through it. So,
okay,
5 seconds.
Hydrate.
Continue without me. I'll be right back.
Hydrate. All right. Well, that means I just have to welcome in somebody else, so nobody is listening to me talk to myself. So you heard Default Dan there from the Incast mention a few other channels and a few other folks who are doing fun stuff with heroic format or variations of it. Really excited to welcome in our next guest. She's been on the show many times before, and we even got to commentate together at PPG in Denver. We're going to do it again in the future. So I'm excited to welcome in Color is Law. Hey.
Aha, I was muted.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we are professionals.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to, I know you're going to mention this, and everybody said we have to mention this, but I'm going to mention it right up front before we talk about allies from the other side. I have a sticker right here. One of the things about fan formats and just enjoying like TCGs in general is you can always find ways to create house rules or to riff on a format that other people enjoy. And you and your folks over in Allies did that, took Heroic, put a little twist on it, and you've been having a blast with it. Can you talk about like where did this idea come from? Why'd you create the channel? What are you doing with it? Like, tell us all about it.
So I was kind of in that slump where there wasn't a lot of things to prep for. You know, we were kind of like in this weird limbo land. And I was like, I need something to grind for, you know, I was losing passion essentially in the game. And I was like, man, I'm so used to just like waking up every day and just like being all about this game. And like, I need something. I need to stretch my legs. And actually I was on Twitter and somebody posted something about Heroic and they were like, oh, thanks for introducing me to this format. And I watched the YouTube video and I think it might have been the Inkcast video. And I was like, yo, this is like Commander, but that's like a bad word. So we don't say that, like, you know, so, okay. And I was like, well, what if I like, you know, I don't know. And so I was like messaging like JDZ and I was messaging like Zenulus. It was like 1 a.m. and I was like, I have this idea. Katie was doing like her little like game show thing. And I was like, oh, this is like a cool content idea. Like, what if we do this? And like everybody was like, I am so busy, do not do that. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. So again, I'm like messaging. It's like 2 a.m. and this is like a fever dream. And he's like, yes, just do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. And basically I got like a bunch of people. I was like, let's play this game. It'll be fine. And then I told them the rules and they were like, how many cards? Are you insane? And so the idea behind it was I am now, I guess, but at the time I'm not what I would consider a social player. I only grind competitive. And that was like what I do. And I started to hate the game. And I was like, okay, when I played Commander, I only played Commander. And let me tell you, I hate Commander with a passion. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like politicking. I like playing and doing cool stuff. Like I was like a mono black combo player because I wanted to do cool stuff in the corner. I'm playing solitaire with my friends, leave me alone. And people hate that. So I was like, how can I take this game and present it to our most competitive people in this entire game? Like Stimulus, like Maelstrom, and all of these people that were like, either they would refuse to ever even look at Commander, like even Luke, or they just have never heard of this format and like would never spend that much time putting that many cards in one space at one point, So I was basically like, please, 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 like that was my pitch, was basically like, please do this. And so I ended up going into SLTC, and I got Shadox to agree to do it because he's a very, very creative deck builder. He's very good, and he's always coming out with these spicy brews. And in our in-houses, he's always one to throw in cards that you're just like don't cook me with this card, like don't do that. So basically, then I got JDZ and I got Katie to agree to come on. And I was like, okay, like I can get one super competitive player, and then I can, get these two content creators, and maybe I can, this was basically my pitch to lure my competitive friends to playing this format, essentially. And of course, I think it was spoken on before. I looked at the rules, and I think the rules were very general on the YouTube video. And so we built our decks, we got in there, and they were like, okay, how does this ink tax work? And I was like, well, of course, it's for each individual card. That makes sense, right? Well, in the official rules, it's not. Your ink tax, every time you play a card out of your storyboard zone and it goes back, your whole storyboard, all 3 cards, plus a 1 tax. So if you play your song, put it back, your legendary now also costs plus 1. And we didn't do that at all. And I was like, nah, well, it's fine. So basically, we have individual tax for each card. So if you play your song 6 times, it has a plus 6 tax. If you have your legendary come out 4 times, it only costs plus 4. It's just the tax is individual, because I wanted to be able to use the storyboard as much as humanly possible, because my goal and the reason, the way that I pitched it, is like, do the most broken, disgusting thing that you can possibly think of. Like, I want you to break this game and see what you can do, because we're not allowed to do that. We try and we want to do fun stuff. And then, especially when I started doing this format, it was like Big Sisu just ate all of your dreams, right? Anything you wanted to do, dies to, banished to Medusa, banished to Brawl, right? But, and now it's like, good luck finding Brawl, my friend. Good luck. So, yeah, that was basically it. And we have done fun, disgusting things that we've seen. I did end up having, it's actually the Maelstrom episode. Luke came on and was like, you guys are playing this wrong. And we were like, what? It's like, yeah, it's supposed to be a plus 1 tax for your entire storyboard, not an individual tax. And we were like, oh, okay, it's fine, whatever. So basically, I think that the difference between the way, like the standard rules and the way that we play it, it's just like a deck building difference. Like the way that we play it, you kind of already know I'm going to be able to play my storyboard over and over and over. So cards like, again, they're already banned, but Be Prepared and A Whole New World. And recently we found out why Beyond the Horizon should be banned. Anyway, whoops. And so, yeah, we basically, I present it as a way, it's like, we're competitive players, but it's a way to socially have fun in the downtime when you're just kind of been bashing your head up against core, to where you're just like, I don't know if I like this game anymore. So I'm either going to take a lap or I'm going to burn my entire collection. It's like, well, have you tried Chief Bogo Bodyguard deck? Thoughts? And yeah, and especially like, I've been fortunate enough to where the people that come onto the show are very talented and they're very, very good. And I get to pick their brain for one episode and be like, hey, what's a dumb broken thing that you can do? And then I end up getting like Luke just somehow playing ink geysers 6 times in a game, and I'm like, how did you do that? How did you even find that? It's
I
not
think the
even
better question is, why did you do that? That's
Because he
because
didn't
he
want us to
could.
have fun. That's what it was.
I know it was as crazy. And then like fumbles coming on, and basically he had Clarabelle as his legendary, and then Sapphire Steel, hey, something consciousness. I'm not sure. And then One Jump was his thing. So basically he had, and he in this episode I could have killed him. He found Morph early. And so he plays Morph, and then he shifts Hey, he dunks his entire hand in the inkwell, and then he finds a 1-drop Clarabelle and shifts her next turn and refills his hand. And does that over and over and over until he has like 20 something ink, and he's basically just refilling his hand because we all can't get rid of Clarabelle because there's other stuff going on at the same time. So he's just running insane with like Hey. And it's like so funny because you're in the situations where you hear your like these people that like, you know, you've just been playing Amber Steel or this or that, and you hear this person be like, if you let my Hey live, then I'm not gonna blow up your stuff. And you're like, I don't negotiate with I'm just kidding. So it's just you get into these like situations where you're yelling about cards that you had to dig out of a bulk bin, and you know, and my favorite card now because of this is either, I mean, it's like a tie, really. So my favorite thing that I was doing for the longest time is I ended up doing the Sapphire Merlin, and then with like Bruno, Undetected Uncle, and then something else. But I ended up basically I would find Bruno, or I'd have Bruno, and then I would find Merlin's Cottage, which says that you can play with the top card of your deck revealed, like everybody does. And there were like 2 different games where I guess I didn't shuffle, and I just had turn 1 Merlin's Cottage. So we were all having to play with the top like card of our decks revealed, and it added this insane layer of strategy to
chaos.
like it was chaos, but it was also like you had to keep track of it, and like, okay, I know you're gonna draw this, but and then I then I used Merlin, where you shift him and you're allowed to go get any card in your deck, the something visionary Merlin, Tutor Merlin, as we all like to call him. I went and got Mad Hatter's Teapot after I shifted Merlin. So basically, I had it's a item that says like pay 1 and exert, and you can make everybody mill 1. So I had Merlin's Cottage with the teapot out, and so on my turn I was just milling them. So I'd be like, oh, you have that on yours? Like, let me get rid of that card. And everybody was so mad because they're like, there's no way you shifted Merlin. Like, no one has ever gotten to shift Merlin, tutor, whatever they want, and you went and got Mad Hatter's Teapot. I'm like, because it synergizes so well with Merlin's Cottage. And then, yeah.
That's wild. I don't know. I some of these interactions are so fun. And I've enjoyed your episodes quite a bit. And I do enjoy that you took a format which you know, to be the Inkcast has put a lot of time and effort into, but then you're like, hey, this is no, I don't mean this in a mean way. Like, this is what works for us, and we're gonna do this because we just want to like break things, and this is how we want to play the game. And it's fun to see people put spins on that. And I want to hear more, but I also wanted to welcome in Sarah because it didn't feel right to talk about Heroic and bring it in and to introduce it to people who perhaps are hearing about it for the first time or really exploring it for the first time without introducing like what you're doing with Allies on the Other Side, and then what Ice Cream Social is doing. So, hey, Sarah.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh my goodness. I was so ready until I wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
My voice was like, no.
I always
The
wait.
second we asked you to talk, it was over.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I was like,
Oh, let me see.
I can
like,
tell when people aren't ready. I just wait. And I can tell.
yeah, I heard my name at least. I was like, oh, that's me. Okay, good.
Yep.
Get it together. All right.
Surprise people. So I just, you know, I wanted to invite you in like real briefly to, of course we wanted to hear about Alice on the Other Side, but Ice Cream Social is also super fun. Can you talk to us about that and what you're doing?
Yeah. So basically we had a group of us on Chris's Lorcana chats, and we were just really getting along really well. We had 2 different episodes, and I was like, wow, the energy is really great. I had already had the idea to like color, I was like, I am in a very ultra competitive space all of the time. And I'm around a lot of ultra competitive players, obviously, because my team. And so I was also judging the DLCs and was very entrenched in a very like non fun place for Lorcana in terms of like social play, right? Very heavily competitive. Um, myself being highly competitive, I thought I was getting a lot of good things from that, but I really was losing my love of the game. Yep, exactly, right? Exactly. So, I really was like looking for an outlet to kind of explore social play more and do more thematic decks. So while like, you know, like after we cut and everybody chats afterwards and stuff, I was like, you guys, I had this idea. We're all getting along really well. We have a really good chemistry. Do you guys want to do this show with me? And they were like, yes, because they were kind of all feeling the same way. So with me on the show is Jeff, Additional Ink. We've got Kim, Enchanted Kim, and Sierra from Laura Lumineer on Instagram and TikTok, and also Chris from Lorcana Chats. And so we all have very different avenues of content creation in the space, but we were all kind of like losing that steam and feeling like we weren't as passionate about the game as we were when we first started. So we thought, what if we build highly thematic decks and just do some social play over Twitch, you know, every 2 weeks, real easy, like, you know, low stakes, because then like the competitive side is just such high stakes. And I'm blessed enough to be around such highly competitive players that are really bringing it all the time. And we're all working really hard towards that goal, that I really just still needed to stay connected and positive about the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess I love actually both of you mentioned like right up front this idea of finding an outlet after like competitive play for whatever reason, you know, burned you out a little bit. Why why create like why is the content important? Like why not just find a group of friends and play online? Like why is it so important to you to make content around these formats and this way of playing?
So for me, I think it was more of like I have the absolute like kind of like what Sarah was saying. I have the absolute pleasure to be surrounded by some of the best players in this game, to where like I am actually in awe of like some of the ideas and the things that they do, to where I'm just like, you guys, people know you for your wins, and they know you for like the accomplishments and your accolades, and they see you play and they want to hear about your deck list. But like as people, they're so funny and they're so intelligent, and like nobody gets a chance to just like sit around and jam games with them. So I thought it would be cool to like trap them into this show and like, I don't know, like be like, look how cool my friends are. I don't know. Which is stupid, but like at the same time, I don't know. It's like, like
no, managing the team, I always tell them on social media, make sure you're showing who you are and what your other hobbies are and what like day-to-day life is, because people really connect with that. And that's what makes you relatable, so that when you are on stream and they're watching your match and you're, you know, at the DLC stream table, people are like, oh, there's, you know, that guy that also likes dogs and has a Frenchie like I do, and, you know, goes to the same ice cream store I do, or whatever it is, that we find these tiny little moments of life, that how we connect with one another. And it's what makes you care a little bit more about them, because at a certain point you can only be like, what do you play? I play Blue Steel. Yeah, me too. You know, and then it gets just like really dry. Everybody has the same kind of outlook. So I love that you did that color to like give these really ultra competitive players a chance to like showcase their personalities, because a lot of them are just hilarious and really
so
great.
funny.
Yeah. And so
well, that's what I was gonna ask Liam, if he would show that clip of like the Maelstrom one that I sent. It was the Instagram one, because like you literally just asked Zenulus. We're like, yeah, I think It was like, oh yeah, like he's like, I don't really like alternative formats, and like it was fun. And if people really want to go do this, then I really encourage them to do that. literally, if you show that clip, he's laughing through the entire thing. He had a ton of fun. It's like,
Give me a
You
shot.
trap
I mean,
me.
it's-
You trap me in a game with my friends for 3 hours, and like we're gonna have fun.
yeah, and that's the thing. This, I mean, Ryan was yelling most of the time, but at the same time, like,
It's just Ryan though. It's
When is
just-
he not? Yeah.
that's his that's just his default voice.
Yeah.
I know.
If you see him in person anywhere, like any event, like the first thing you're gonna hear is Ryan be like, "Oh my gosh!"
But I will
Alright.
say that was like one of the things that I did notice, just a casual setting, was like how, like I was talking about Merlin's Cottage, Luke, the way he navigated that game, like I would stop it during his turns and watch him navigate through that game, and I'm like, this is why he's invited to Worlds. Like it was absolutely insane to see. Like, yes, we're goofing off, but the ability to keep tabs on what everybody is doing and who has drawn what, and he knew every card in everybody's hand at all times and was navigating through that. I was like, good. Like, there's no reason somebody should think in 4D the way that these people do. But yeah, it's really neat.
I'm gonna I will play that. That's gonna be our closing video clip. We will end on that. I want to
Really?
download it
On
and
that
upload it
note.
because if I play it from the other screen, I'm worried the sound's gonna be all janky and it's gonna be weird. And
They're all
so
sound like underwater and yelling at each other.
Because
Yeah.
as we
Yeah.
say, we are professionals.
we are
Yeah.
professionals. So I'm gonna do a download, upload, and like I'm gonna play it like embedded, and it's gonna be awesome.
But
And
so
that'll be
like
fun to
I guess like kind of piggybacking off of that, why is it that you wanted to make content with the ice cream social, Sarah? Was it kind of the same thing? You were just wanting to share personalities, or just kind of show off the theming in general in a way that you just can't from we're just getting together with our friends on Twitch.
Yeah. So when you look at Twitch streams, most of the time you're going to see people like opening product or playing ultra competitively, right? But there's not a lot of content for thematic decks being played. And I just felt like maybe the more casual social player might enjoy to have that kind of content to look at, and also give them validation that these decks are being played and they're being played, people are having fun playing them, and that you don't have to be embarrassed to be a social player, because during the week I go to different like LGS's leagues, and so some of them are ultra competitive. You're there to like practice your very competitive deck. Other ones are thematically, have thematic rules for each, night. And there's a different demographic at each one. And I just want to make sure that we're meeting every need in the Lorcana community as content creators. That's kind of like taking it on, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And it's like an excuse to hang out with my friends,
Yeah. That's why I do this show.
Yeah, I'm like, I will force you to play Lorcana with me. Yeah.
And here you all are, hanging out with me.
But no, I think it's a really important thing to touch on. There's a lot of people that I don't think are exposed to the different formats or even ways that people are enjoying the game. I mean, when we saw in the Disney parks, the Belle promos and the Beast promo events that are coming out, there are a lot of people that are getting introduced to the game that I'm so jealous of, that like that's their first interaction with Lorcana. Whereas I think Liam and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. My first interaction was seeing just the Maleficent Dragon card, and I immediately was like, "Oh, well, I want to play the game because the artwork is cool." But there's so many people that are having the core memory of, I'm going to this specialized environment in the park, and there's a Imagineer up front with a big paintbrush, and it brings Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard to life in front of your eyes on the canvas.
Actual Lorcana. You're actually in the land of Lorcana. And
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like that, like I'm genuinely so jealous of that. But
Yeah.
if like you're saying, a lot of people, if they just look up Disney Lorcana on YouTube, they're just gonna see the hyper competitive stuff, or people trying to strive for top at DLCs and kind of go to worlds. So having things like allies, having things like the Inkcasters, having things like Ice Cream Social, where people can go, oh, people are just having fun and making puppies decks or princess decks or a
Microbots.
or a microbot
Yeah,
deck,
exactly.
or any just franchise themed deck, and like legitimately trying to see what you can squeeze out of those pieces of the game. I think it's very important. Liam said it multiple times, but the thing that keeps other card games alive and keep the longevity going for years and years isn't the people who are trying to make worlds every time it shows up. It's the people who are collecting. It's the people that are like, oh, look at my Aladdin deck and how cool it is. Look at my Sleeping Beauty deck and like how cool that is. And just finding avenues to actually get access to that is incredibly important.
I will say,
agree.
with this format, the madrigals are so broken. Like, I typically don't make theme decks because that's not my thing. I just want to see like what mechanics work really well together. But the madrigals, themed or not, that synergy is bananas. It's crazy.
Oh, that's one that I really hope. A lot of people are fans of the Madrigals, and I actually want to try, and I want that deck to be good in core constructed. But if it's not, I'm going to make it work in heroic. So maybe that's the first deck I build. But
Fantastical Magical is my favorite card. I mean, there's a lot of favorite cards that I have, but God, it's so good. It's so satisfying.
Send me the deck cards. You all set up an awesome segue because they're talking about finding ways for people to enjoy the game and finding room for social play, because there's a group of folks in California who are very into creating those spaces. One of them is a content creator that we've known for a long time and is probably one of the biggest advocates of social play and finding ways to enjoy the game that's not hyper competitive. So I'm really excited to hear tonight about an event that they're planning. And if you're hearing about it for the first time, I want everybody to get it on their calendar now. So excited to welcome in Rebecca from Rebecca Quest.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh my goodness.
My screen looks weird. Look, it's the Glimmer Games.
I was about to say, what is that thing over your shoulder there?
That's the event that we're doing, and my co-organizers and I are very excited about this event that we're bringing to Northern California in the Sacramento area in March. So it's a little bit of a ways away, but we have tons of fun stuff planned. We're going to talk all about it. There is lots of social play, great activities for families, people who are collectors, all of that. And also, we're going to do a big, fantastic tournament as well. So it's got something for everyone, and we are very excited about it.
Maybe
we announced it. I will say that we originally announced it as Quest Fest, but it is we did a name change. So Glimmer Games is what we are going with.
We'll allow it.
And that's official now.
You said
we said it. We said it. We said it on the Illuminateers, so now we can't go back.
Mark it. Clip that. Get in the comments. Well, real quick, your other organizers are in the green room. So let's, why don't you introduce them? We'll bring them in as well before we talk about this.
Absolutely. So John Santos is a good friend of mine. He plays here locally with me, and I've known him for such a long time. He's a fantastic player, a very good player, and also a very wonderful judge. He was a DLC judge all for season 1, and he's going to be overseeing all the judge stuff for the event. So we know that tournament integrity and all of that is in quite good hands. So John is one of my co-organizers, and then
Boom.
Josie. Hey, there's John. Hey.
Hello.
I had to wait for the right moment.
Yes. And then Josie, she has been a tournament organizer for quite a while now and has done several events in the Northern California area, in Sacramento and the Bay Area. You may recognize the team name Tian Hu. She is the manager and also team captain for Tian Hu, and then also does all these amazing events. And so when I think all three of us kind of were thinking about a bigger event like this. And so I'm so glad that I got connected up with Josie to help bring this event to life.
And boom.
And boom. And there she is.
Like it's almost part of the squares here.
I didn't know you and John were going to be here. Hi.
Surprise. Surprise.
Yeah, well, this is super exciting. We talked about doing this last week, Rebecca, when you all had kind of like very recently announced it, but I wanted to make sure that we did it. I know it didn't work out, but this week is great. I want to make sure to announce it as soon as possible because there's so many tournaments going on right now, so many different events. I know there's a lot of people that'll be super excited about this, and the sooner that people can get it on their calendar and get this booked and get the finances set aside, the better. So yeah, like this is super awesome. Like tell us more.
Tell us more, John or Josie. People hear from me all the time, but like, yeah, one of you take it. Talk about the event.
Let's start with John. What are your
thank you.
goals for the event?
Thank you, Logan. Well, we have a handy dandy slide here.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna read from that.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
This slide.
Yeah,
I can make this
that's
bigger.
the one.
I don't know how to.
Up in the top right where it says slideshow, you can make it.
We're getting a little bit of a PowerPoint.
Okay. You want me to
Lesson.
do... Oh,
There you
whoa!
go.
What is
Nice.
this
There we go.
PowerPoint? This is like
Nice,
this is
nice.
not PowerPoint. To be
Oh.
fair, this is
Google Slides.
Google Slides, which
Oh.
I have used all of one time before tonight. All right, let's do this. Like,
Look at you learning new skills
Yeah,
all the time.
that's
fancy.
nope. Everybody's not
Nice.
here. All right, let's do maybe this.
I think
So
the
we're
first
having-
All the different layouts.
I think the
for it.
first way was the
The
best
first
way.
one was the best one. Yeah.
Yeah. That way we can see the whole slide.
There I go.
That's
And I
great.
can make it big at times. Boom. There we go.
Nice.
Boom.
Woo!
We are. Trust me, we're professionals.
We are professional.
We're professionals.
New
Just
tools.
Keeps doing things.
So we're doing Glimmer Games, an unofficial Disney Lorcana community event. We're hosting it March 21st and 22nd next year at the grounds in Roseville, California. And for those of you who aren't familiar with California, Roseville is about maybe like 30 minutes east of Sacramento. But yeah, we're trying to plan this out as in far advanced as we can. That way, players can make appropriate travel plans to come out, because we'd love to see everyone from all over. Not just California, not just the United States, but just everywhere. You should come play.
I mean, what capacity? How many people
was
can you
supposed to-
fit?
Aha! Next slide.
This the one that you asked me about, Josie?
Probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
I was like,
yes,
okay.
yes.
I was like, wait.
We
Yeah,
changed the name
so
a little.
we changed the name. We have, hey, Ed says Josie's best Lorcana player.
Okay.
Sad.
He's just trolling in the comments. Typical Ed.
Ed always in the comments there.
I literally
Ed is
told
a
us,
high
don't say
impact
anything
commenter.
mean about me.
He doesn't say a lot, but when he does, he makes his presence known.
Yep.
But anyway, John.
Oh, I'm still on? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we're doing on the 21st and the 22nd. We want this to be a 2-day event. And it's not just, like a competitive tournament deal. We want to do everything. We essentially want to emulate like a DLC kind of experience on a smaller level. We will have, competitive play, but we're also going to have side events and different ways to engage with the game other than just like a competitive aspect.
I think one of the things that I've noticed with community events for Disney Lorcana is there's tournaments going on all the time, competitive tournaments. We have, Southside Gaming, the CCS, the Inc. We have all those kind of things running very fantastic competitive events. And then we've also seen, not as many, but we've seen a few social play events. There was the Social Quest event that I helped last year down in Southern California. There was in the Bay Area an event called Lore Fest that was all around social play. But we have yet to see a community event put on that really brought both sides of the game together. And so I think that was something that between Josie and John and I, that we really wanted to create an event that had something for everyone, no matter how you enjoy engaging with Disney Lorcana. And especially because there are no DLCs on the West Coast. We thought, hey, let's put on something so that the community can come together.
Yeah.
A lot of I have to ask, because like the community, the heroic community showed up tonight in droves. Any heroic events? Maybe?
We have nothing planned right now. So
Do you see all of the things? There's trivia, Disney bound raffles. I don't see room
listen.
for more things.
The trivia is going to be so awesome. So a friend of ours his name is Kevin, and he's also a local celebrity. He is a radio host on, I forget what it is. John, tell
Wake
me
Up
out. What
Call.
is Wake Up Call?
That's the show that he does.
106.5.
There we go. The End. That's right. So he is a local radio host, celebrity, and he is a huge Disney Lorcana player, a huge Disney fan, and he's run tons of trivia events. And so I asked him if he would run the trivia for us at the Glimmer Games, and he is like so in. So that's going to be a really fun thing.
Yeah, move forward a couple slides. All right, boom. Boom.
Oh, that's us.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, this is the event. Yeah, that's us.
you.
Yep, that's us.
There they are.
That's the venue.
Hey, we should boom.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right.
I think that we have capacity, Josie, for how many are players?
She was like, and I'm
So-
leading you.
Yeah,
With
Josie
our,
found this location. It's really great.
Yeah, so with the venue, we can fit about 365 people. So the idea is that we would have enough to do like a big main event tournament that will be soft capped at like 256, with still plenty of space for casual players, casual side events, as well as, you know, the trivia, the costume contest, you know, every artist signings, things like that.
Yeah, we are working on securing an artist, at least one artist to come. So we will announce that as soon as everything is confirmed.
If you need help.
Yes, yes. We are excited about that. Also, we are working to confirm at some point a live broadcast team, because that is something, especially with the main tournament, that we want to have a live broadcast for the event going on as well. So that is also to be confirmed, and we will announce that when we have everything ready to go. So we're still like in the very early planning stages, as you can tell, but we wanted to make sure that people can get excited, make any plans to come. We are also doing that junior tournament as well. That was something that I just really wanted to make sure that we had something for our younger players, our young Illumineers to play. There are a lot of young players in the area, so I'm really excited to host a junior tournament. And you know, we'll do some side events as well, but we really want to have like that one big core constructed competitive tournament, and then infinity on day 2, because March, so our event is in March, which is let's see here, June will be the next North American DLC, which is the Infinity format DLC.
Yeah.
So this will be a
Practice.
great place for people to come and practice Infinity.
I'm
I will
worried
say,
you're gonna
like-
cap. Honestly.
Yeah, actually, that's what I'm saying. Surely. I mean, the location just kind of being, you guys don't have a ton of big stuff that happens directly on the West Coast in general. So this being
don't.
something that's advertising to be big, I mean, I'm gonna be real. This is big
I hope
enough
it
that I would
sells
want
out.
to come to it.
Yeah.
We
I
would
mean,
love that.
I've been trying to get people to come visit us in California for so long. I feel like it's been impossible. So hopefully with this event, it will get you guys all to my side of the coast.
Well, look, you guys had Continentals. What more do you need, right?
Yeah,
Like-
if you would have secured a DLC, then maybe.
But no, so like
Um,
also just to piggyback off of something Rebecca was saying, I have been saying since the beginning of Lorcana, I think we really, really, really need to emulate the Pokemon format where we have different age brackets. So seeing, for instance, in Ink Inc, they have the kids
Cool.
play at CCS. I think they also have an under 16 tournament. I love seeing things like that. I think that's something. Again, this is a season of Lorcana that I'm incredibly jealous of what people's first interactions with the games are. And for somebody who's under 16, it's just not the most inviting or fun thing to sit down across from Zan Syed or Ed Chu and
Or you.
have that be. I mean, I'm not either, to be fair, but like, you know, but for a 16-year-old who's like, okay, maybe this is their first big event, I would much rather that them have the space to have a place where, you know, you're playing peers instead of like something that feels inherently unfair, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got a chance to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean. Sorry,
No, go
there's
ahead.
like 80 of us here, but yeah, I got a chance to cast the youth tournament in Ink, and it was I think they were like 8 and 13 were the 2 finalists, and they played this mirror. I know, and I had to kept like trying not to do that while I'm casting because I was like, oh, look how good he uses this card, but like they were absolute killers. Like the proficiency and like the way that they were inking so quickly and the visions turns. I was like, everybody should strive to have visions turns as fast as these kids are having them because their brains work so much quicker. And it was just really, really cool to see the talent at that age level. And like even 16 is like, like 16 and under is like the cutoff. But like I said, like the kids in the final, they were like 8 and 13 and they were absolutely just like, I don't know. It's very, very cool to see and to give them that space to where they can feel comfortable enough to compete and everything.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
I remember seeing.
I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say I remember seeing a pairing at DLC Atlanta. There were 2 very young children just paired against each other. They must have been neither of them older than 10, and it was the cutest thing I saw. I was like, I'm glad they got paired together.
That's cute. I think one of the things that is important for kids, and I'm a mom, so I have 2 kids, and I have, as you all know, a son who loves playing Disney Lorcana. But I think one of the things that is really important for kids is giving them opportunities to succeed, right? And putting a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old or even a 16-year-old in a 100, 200, 300 tournament with adults that have all been playing TCGs for 20 plus years is not setting them up for the opportunity for success in most cases. There are some kids out there who are geniuses and are doing the thing, right? But most kids, like you want to put them into a position where they can have fun and find some amount of success so that way they keep going, and I think that having a junior tournament is really important for the health of developing the future generations of Disney Lorcana.
Yeah.
And I know that someday that Disney Lorcana and Ravensburger will have something more. I know that we'll get there someday. But for now, it's really, really fantastic to see different events hosting these junior tournaments because it really is, I think, really important.
I like how you're saying junior because they were called a youth tournament, and so all day we were like the youths, and I'm like, I don't love that. I don't love that. I hate that. Like,
the 2 youths.
Yeah, the youths are out there. I know it was just so weird.
Playing Lorcana.
Yeah. So junior tournament, I like that.
They sit down and scream. You see my clients over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That is so funny. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the junior. Social events, cosplay. We are going to do cosplay and Disney Bound separately. Those are 2 different contests. So if you just want a Disney Bound, you will only be up against other Disney Bounders. And if you want a full-on cosplay, you can cosplay. You have 6 months to figure something out.
Okay,
that's plenty of time.
What are we wearing, Rebecca, as tournament organizers? What are the 3 of us going to wear?
You have to cosplay, John, of course.
We should coordinate. The 3 of us should coordinate.
Yes, there you go. We do in Louis.
Never Disney bounded before, so.
I know Josie's like, what's a Disney Bound? Josie was actually inspired color by your Disney Bound that you did at.
Oh yeah.
They were like, what are you Disney Bound as? I was like, the only thing I could possibly think of right now is what you did at Inking.
It's just like
closet is just black. So I was like,
yes,
this is great.
Yeah,
We're all black.
They were like, can you be Roxanne? And I was like, what about Beret Girl from Extremely Goofy Movie? And half the people are like, who? And I'm like, it's fine. It's my outfit. Yeah. But, and then Liam decided 3 days before PPG, he's like, we should do like a group, like Disney Bound again. And I was like, oh my God, I need longer than 3 days. And so 6 months is perfect. I can handle 6 months.
6 months.
That was
6
not
months
my
you can
idea.
do something.
That was JD's idea, which everybody backed out. Everybody was like, it went like this. It was like, hey, we should do this thing. And I was like, yes. And everybody else was like, meh. And then everybody else didn't do it. And I was still like, yes. And then that's how that happened.
Well, because they were like, Color, do you just have like a blonde wig? You can be Helga. And I'm like, bruh, do you know how long it took me to get Beret Girl? And I own half of that stuff already. Like, I have to like they were like 3 days, just Amazon it. I'm like,
Like if there's anyone out there listening too, okay, so if you want to Disney bound a character, this is what I recommend you do. Just go on Pinterest, type in Disney bound and the name of the character, and you will find a bazillion ideas. And a lot of them are just like really simple things that you could maybe find in your own wardrobe or Amazon it real quick or whatever. But yeah, Disney bounding is super fun.
yeah, they're like, do you have a blonde wig laying around? Like, literally, who does that?
If it makes you feel better,
Rob, a lot of
when
people
we
do.
went to Continentals, even Worlds, there were a lot of people like, Logan, you should Disney bound as Fred. And I was like, I don't own different color beanies. What do you mean? All my beanies are black. I can't do it.
That's too funny.
He said Amazon 2-day shipping.
I know.
No,
Right? Like,
I know that's what Liam said. He's like, Amazon 2-day shipping. I'm like, shh, I'm freaking out. I have to get on a plane in like 72 hours. Leave me alone. Like,
Well,
said,
Logan
"Man,
is
I'm-
gonna come. Logan's gonna come to Glimmer Games, and he is gonna enter the Disney bound contest. That's what I'm
That's right.
hearing.
Yep.
I do want to come to Glimmer Games. I do have to like in that time frame find a pair of shorts because I don't own those either.
that's why I didn't want to do
They're
Roxanne. I was like,
shorts.
I'm not buying shorts. I don't own them. I'm not buying them.
My only request, Logan, is if you Disney bound as Fred at the Glimmer Games, you have to be on the day 1 cycle of Fred's underwear routine. You can't be like on day 4 inside out backwards. Okay.
Look, you either want me to be the character or you don't. I don't
You
know.
gotta have to.
He just said day one. Day one. For
Yeah,
us.
just
Yeah.
Day one.
Be day 1 Fred.
Look,
think day 4
I start
started.
day 1 at travel. Okay, at this point we're like day 3 into travel.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
I need to find a tailor.
Oh man.
I'm looking. Here's.
Is he looking through his stack of like potential characters I'm gonna
100%.
Disney bound as?
Yes, he already has like a.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
He's like, let me just shuffle through the 30 outfits for these characters.
I did.
Yeah.
I did a Jim Hawkins Disney bound. I did a Jim Hawkins Disney bound for. I must have been when Arcasia's or Azurite Sea came out. I did a Jim Hawkins Disney bound for release night. That was fun.
I just wish like pants in real life were as poofy as Jim's are.
Yeah.
You know, we can't have
Oh.
everything.
I know it's like that and the Milo Thatch like.
What is this? My goodness, what else we got? Oh, I see.
You just
I
have
do
to
this.
like
Here.
grab a Lorcana card and just Disney bound as that, and then
Oh,
I
there
put
you
it on
go.
Oh, the
see.
easy
Really?
Prince
Oh,
Naveen,
yeah.
absolutely.
Rob has done Prince Naveen before.
Rob
He's done
is so
other
good at
things.
cosplay.
He really
Yeah.
is.
Rob did the waffle goofy at one of the inkings.
Oh,
and
that's right.
was walking
I
around
remember
with
seeing the
like
picture.
an
Actual
actual
waffles.
plate of waffles. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was
He did.
cosplayed waffles, but yeah. It's
First of
great.
all, they were real waffles. I believe I could eat them.
Yeah.
Clarabelle at
And I-
DLC Vegas, I think.
I won't let you take
Oh,
that
nice.
that dream away from me.
Focus
All
on
that
it.
to say, our Disney bound contest and cosplay contest is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. It's gonna be good.
And I'm just going to say as well is that there will be prizes for those, and
Yes.
there's going to be other raffles, and there's going to be cool stuff for people to win, not just through competitive play. I think that's something that we really want to offer people different ways to like get cool stuff without having to be a competitive player. Sarah was like raising her hand. Like,
I just had the thought that by the time you have this event, we will have gargoyles.
Uh-huh.
We will have Black
Mhm.
Cauldron.
Yes.
Black
So
Cauldron.
really start thinking about these cosplayers, people, because I would like to see an actual like full life like gargoyle.
Oh yeah,
wings.
gargoyle,
That's
absolutely.
Like, let's
So
go.
Is there-
I'm showing up as the Horned King is what I'm
There,
doing.
yes,
Yes.
See?
That would be really cool.
Is there? So I was about to say. So Whispers comes out in November. Which set comes out around that time? Is
It'll
there?
be
We-
set.
we
It'll
should
be
be in
set
set
11. It'll be
Okay.
set 11 meta. Yeah.
Winter spell.
Yeah. Winter
yeah.
spell.
Winter spell.
Does it come out in March, or I'm so bad at that?
I think it's February. We should be like, it'll be like mid set by the time
Oh,
Glimmer
that's good.
Games
Okay.
happen.
That's a good sweet spot for an event like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no huge rush to getting the cards or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like,
like that.
I'll have time to
Yeah.
get stuff, and it won't be the end of the format, so people won't be jaded about it yet.
Yeah.
Right in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Right in the sweet spot. Liam just put in the chat, I think, the link to the Discord. So that is the MGL Margolis Gaming Labs Discord that Josie runs because, like I said, she does a lot of events in the Northern California area. So you'll see all the events that she's helping to put on, other local events, and then there's a channel specifically in there for the Glimmer Games, and that's where we'll post all the updates and announcements and when tickets go on sale and all that jazz, which we'll be doing through Eventbrite, I think, most likely. So. And Darkwing Duck. That's right. Somebody cosplayed Darkwing Duck.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited because of the theme song. Has anybody listened to the Darkwing Duck theme song as an adult?
Let's get dangerous.
Every time I hear the name,
it's so good. It's so good. It's like one of those songs, like I put it on and I was like, man, this is, and I think I listened to it like 5 times in a row. And it's like, okay, I'm going to do that thing where I make something sound awful. So I had to stop, but it's amazing. And I recommend everybody go listen to it right now or like in 5 minutes.
Jeff has been listening to it.
Stop watching the stream. Go watch the Darkwing.
Darkwing Duck immediately.
Just the theme song. It's not that long. It's fine.
Well, now I'm looking for. I got to put the cosplay down. Let's do Grand Pabby again. I don't know.
Oh gosh,
you can't do a repeat costume.
Not the spirit gum.
Absolutely
Liam.
not. You can't be lazy with it. Come on.
I did spirit gum moss into my eyebrows, which didn't come out for a month.
Spirit gum is
I didn't know. Anyway,
you weren't a theater kid.
That's what I was literally gonna say the exact same thing, Rebecca. Oh my god, I was like, you did not do theater because that. Me and Rebecca made the same face. If we were theater kids, and we were like, "Yep, ooh, no."
Erin did. Erin knew, and she was like, "Liam, what do you do? You're gonna regret that."
This is how you
didn't
learn.
say anything on purpose. No, this is how you learn.
She watched them, and then after she's like, "Did you know you're not supposed to do that?" Did you? I didn't want to nag you.
There we go. Thanks, Steven, getting the Darkwing Duck. Steven in the chat. All right. We do need to. What? No, yeah, we got we got stuff to do. Aaron's poking in and being like, "Hey, you're almost at 2 hours."
Hi,
curfew.
Hey, there's a family behind you.
Yeah. But no. So I'm excited for this event. I'm worried it's going to sell out.
I don't think it's a worry. That's a good thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we want it to sell out.
I'm well. Okay,
we're not going to get tickets.
You said worry, and Josie's like, "What do you mean? That's the goal."
We want people to get tickets who want to come. So we'll announce when tickets are going on sale with plenty of lead time, so you can plan to click the button. So.
Yeah, I guess I should have said I'm worried I'm not going to get a ticket because it's going to sell.
Yeah, exactly.
There will also be attendee tickets for any friends and family who don't necessarily want to play, but they want to attend and participate in the other side events or the cosplay or the Disney events that we have going on.
Or the Disney trivia.
Or the trivia.
Because Disney trivia will be free to participate in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always feel like I'm great at Disney trivia until a Lorcana player asks me Disney trivia, and I'm like, "Well, that's it. I'm out." Like, sorry, guys.
You can always tell who actually watched Disney growing up and who didn't, because then, like, you say things like, "Oh, did you ever watch Bed Knobs and Broomsticks?" And people were like,
"Oh yeah."
It's like I know what both those things are, but not in that combination.
I'm disappointed in you.
No, I do. I love that movie.
You're like, I do.
All the Disney between now and then. So.
I love that. I love that film, and it has animated characters. So I'm just saying, soccer team, when. All right.
Well, you said that, and I'm like, it does. Like, I was like, yeah, I remember that movie, and I don't. I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
I'm so disappointed in you.
That's fine.
It's the one with Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Under the sea, right? They go
underwater.
You said under the sea, and I thought you were literally saying, "Yeah, it's the one."
No, like in the.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
you are correct.
I was like, I could be misremembering.
Right.
No, you're not. You're correct.
That movie is a fever dream, so I was like, "Am I?"
That's not the one with penguins, right? But that's Mary.
That's Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Yes.
On the bottom of the
really quick, I did see Dad Kana in the chat was asking about a release date for tickets. It'll probably be like sometime probably towards the end of October, maybe November, but that's our goal is to get the and event that tickets up by the end of October.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Man, I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope I get a ticket. So yeah. Well, thank you all so much. Like, this was great. And I hope we can have you back on again when we get closer to tickets being announced, so we can line that up and get it on everybody's calendar and announce any updates.
And you'll be showing us your cosplays, right? At that point.
Oh,
You'll be modeling them.
no,
John
We
will
need a
come with his
slideshow.
cool gargoyle wings, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good idea, sir.
I mean,
No,
I'm
can
all down for a group one. I just have to be notified.
Less than 3 days is not
Yeah.
cool for you.
Isn't there like a
Dang.
detective in Gargoyles who wears like a nice?
Oh yeah, she's got the
jacket?
red leather
Oh, there
jacket.
you
It's like
go.
drop. Oh my god.
Yes. There you go.
That
Yeah.
could be you.
In
right,
6
done.
months, this could be you.
Yeah, it's exciting for you. Yeah.
Lisa.
Because she's already
Anyway.
got dark hair. It's done. We're good.
I will take nominations for my cosplay if anybody
Ooh.
wants to send ideas. There's a lot out there, so if anybody, maybe I'll do a vote.
Maybe
I'm
you
going
should
back
do
to,
a
like-
slideshow of like 5 different outfits and then have people vote on it.
Bro, I'm
Liam's got
going
a
back
deck.
to, like the 80s
Like
Disney
think about it,
movies
like
with,
wait,
send
that
you pictures.
actually might be a good idea.
I can't even narrow it down. That's the problem. I have like decision fatigue. I just want somebody to make the decision for me.
Okay, 10 options for people to choose.
10 options.
They
Yeah,
all use spirit glue.
I wrote
Spirit
Rufio. They all
10
use Spirit Glue, everyone.
cosplays you
Yeah,
would never
just-
believe Liam of the Illuminators would use.
There we go.
Oh my goodness. Put up a poll in the Discord. I mean, I could. I could.
Okay, last time I saw a Disney
right.
Lorcana player use a Twitter Discord for their thing. It didn't go well for Ryan at the DLC, so
For his
be
deck.
careful.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. He put Sapphire Steel on the list and like who's
Rufio. Hey,
Oh, Ruthie is
all
a
right.
good one.
We need to wrap this up. Hey, thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
I'm super excited for this event. It is super awesome to see you all, like members of the community, putting this on. It's inspirational, honestly, and I hope that we can not only experience an awesome event, but then that other people can learn from what you're doing and maybe replicate it elsewhere, because there's so many areas of the country and the world that are kind of underserved for like big Lorcana events, and I think it's an experience that everybody could,
especially in this current
benefit from.
season.
Yes, yeah. So, thank you all, and we'll absolutely have you back, Sarah, Color. We'll make sure to post links to your shows in the show notes. We did post them in the chat. Everybody should go and subscribe to your channels as well, because it's super fun to see what you all are doing. And Color, we will play that video on the way out. I will load it up just for fun. And Logan, what'd I miss?
Nothing. We got it. All the points, man. The big events, all of the different channels of people who are just really championing different ways to play the game, which is highly needed right now with as much growth that's going on with Fabled. I think we got it all, man.
All right.
Got it
Well, everybody who hung out with us all show, thank you so much for hanging out with us this week. We'll be back next Monday, where we'll be talking about some awesome Disney Lorcana tournaments. And as always, thank you to our Patreon supporters for helping to fund all the subscriptions that we need to make the show go. I see several of you in the chat there, Matt, Chris, a lot of you hanging out. So thanks so much. And with that, Color, let's tee up this video. It's the last thing we'll do.
Madam Medusa. Who wants to
On the
get
way
zapped?
Oh,
In
no,
2
that's
seconds,
not it.
why your guys should not get
No?
zapped, okay?
Mine
Katie,
already
start
got
with you.
value.
Because mine can't
Okay.
shift into anything.
Okay, color,
He's wearing Bermuda pants?
bad. Color, Merlin's gone. Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
For you.
You're in it getting
What are Genie's stats?
3-5.
What? He's a 3-5.
Is it 3-5?
Bro, if you Medusa me
If
again.
I would do what? If I do
If you
who?
Medusa me again,
There you go. The Deuce.
Are you
Get him out of here.
joking?
Get him out of here, dude.
I'm
See ya. Well,
It's
bitch.
nice knowing you.
kidding me.
I guess I could have hit somebody else, but I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to, just for the vibes. We had to do that.